Jordan Peele has possibly outdone himself in his latest entry into the horror genre. I'll be discussing some of the themes and symbolism in the film Nope to unearth the rich storytelling and what is probably my favorite entry into the cinematic Peele universe, or CPU for short. From director Jordan Peele, who brought you horror thrillers Get Out and Us, comes his most recent and ambitious foray into the genre, Nope. Like his first two films, Peele explores themes of racial identity in relation to politics, classism, pop culture, and exploitation. Utilizing his sharp wit and heavy-handed symbolism, the director and screenwriters crafted an ambitious story that has much to tell. I think he sticks the landing quite nicely. Disclaimer, some or all of what I may be about to present could be a reach, in which case...
This is also not even close.
Anyway, let's jump right in and get started.
Here we go.
In a break from his usual form, Peele decides to point his camera back at himself, in a self-referential twist to his usual meditative works on the other.
Have we asked Jordan if he meant to do that?
Yeah, he didn't.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Damn, that's just like...
Nope is a film centered on the entertainment industry and spectacle-driven mass media with its constant reconstructing of reality.
I mean, we are, I like what you did. Look, this is a society of the spectacle. And I think that the idea of spectacle harms us in many ways, whether it's something we are so obsessed by that we give it too much power because it has a spectacular nature to it, or if it's because we use the spectacle to distract ourselves from the truth. We have this very dark relationship with it, and I think about bottlenecking, right? When we're driving, when we're in traffic and there's an accident, and that traffic slows down. Yeah, it's because everybody's sneaking a peek at that awful spectacle, and it's slowing everybody down. And so that I latched onto that and said, let's make a movie about that.
Peele's take is heavily inspired by Guy Debord's treatise on mass media, The Society of the Spectacle. Debord's critique examines the loss of the real in the world of entertainment media, and its replacement with simulated and spectacularized phenomenon meant to catch the eye. Blurring lived reality with appearance marks the completion of a commodified society.
In other words, we need to launch nuclear weapons now.
I don't want you to protest, I don't want you to riot, I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and that crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being, God damn it! My life has value! I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
I'm mad as hell, I'm not gonna take it anymore!
I'm mad as hell, I'm not gonna take it anymore!
I'm mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore!
Full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. When entire riots against the state can begin from the word of an anonymous forum user, we see the early indication of the consummation of our ability to distinguish fact from fiction, reality from simulation, being rendered moot.
If you want to control the population of your country, there has never been a tool as effective as Facebook.
We built these things.
As we read, so shall we be read. Online images surveil their users, registering their eye movement, behavior, and preferences. Basically, we become what we see.
We are being surveilled by an alien species I call the viewers.
In a hyper-capitalist world where commodity is fetishized, the value of an object is not in its use, or even as the output of our labor. In an almost ghostly way, the object has its own value and ability to dictate our activity. This describes fetish in its classical anthropological definition, which is the belief in objects or items holding a supernatural power, and thus power over those that hold them sacred. In Society of the Spectacle, the object, which is now image, dictates the relationship and interactions of the society.
And the commodity really is just an embodiment of social relations. But this is not how commodity really appears to you. In your social reality, by means of your participation in social exchange, you bear witness to the uncanny fact that the commodity really appears to you as a magical object endowed with special powers and so on and so on.
The value of the alien jean jacket in the film Nope is in its image. We see how the need to exploit this image consumes the cast. This is the natural endpoint to commodity fetish. The image or symbol holding power over its referent, the thing it references.
What's the matter? Don't you want to be on TV?
Man, I'm trying to tell you. You don't want to go that way.
Fuck it.
The film examines this ghostliness and the alienation that comes with adopting these self-destructive beliefs. Commodity fetish enables exploitation. The act of fetishization means to overlook the referent and only leave the symbol. What this does is ease the process of us becoming means to ends. A Nike shoe isn't the product of recycled plastic and polyurethane foam that comprises it, but the image of athleticism and the appearance of success that is the Nike swoosh. We wear brands and are branded by the symbols of hope, change, or strength that they advertise to us. And these symbols are the drivers of forced labor camps in China. Exploitation is symptom, but symbols and our valuation of them are the ignition. Peele explores these themes fully in his examination of the rural California Haywood family's dealings with an extraterrestrial entity using their land as a hunting ground. We're introduced to the hard-working father and son duo played by Peele staple Daniel Kaluuya and acting legend Keith Davids as the proprietors of Haywood's Hollywood Horses, an established horse-wrangling business far past its heyday in serving Hollywood production. David's character is still hopeful and continues to look for their next big gig, the one that'll put their business back on top. Kaluuya's character seems not to care as much for the dreams of his father, reluctantly following the routine until their first run-in with the alien cuts his father's life short, killed by a projectile falling from the alien, shedding the weight of its victims. I won't belabor symbolism too much in this video, but it's worth noting that the cause of death is a nickel, the only American coin with a slave plantation on it, Jefferson's own house, Monticello. One of the clearest examples of the exploitation that occurs in commodity-driven society is slavery. Davids has his eye on the prize, but maybe the director is telling us that it's the wrong one.
That's interesting. That's you know, that has some coding.
The rest of the film is Kaluuya unsuccessfully trying to reclaim something of the glory days of his father and his great-grandfather before him, the first man ever recorded on film. When he and his sister, played by Keke Palmer, a self-proclaimed hustler and entrepreneur who hates to actually work, realize that they're in the presence of an alien, seek to profit from the discovery. Their exploits in capturing the alien on camera through enlisting the help of a Fry's electronic employee make up the majority of the film. There are several critiques being made in the journey to profit from the alien, a narrative of exploitation in Hollywood from its genesis with their great-grandfather's exclusion from the history books as the first person to ever be filmed, to the continued exploitation of animals, such as the chimpanzee Gordy and the horses that no one on the set seems to care for, aside from OJ. As commodities, their values are present in relation to the social standings of the characters. Similarly, their worth as individuals becomes tied to their valuation of the alien ship, which is in peace commodity fetish.
Obviously, the nucleus of the media I'm sort of examining here is Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And the selling of dreams, the selling of nightmares, the selling of illusion.
However, the ship also fights against being recorded. As a referent, it understands the value that its image holds over the Haywood crew. The ship eats and spits out those seeking to entertain, as well as those seeking entertainment. The opening to the film begins with the quote, Nahum 3:6, "I will pelt you with filth. I will treat you with contempt and make you a spectacle." Kaluuya, after encountering the alien ship, asks his sister if there's such a thing as a bad miracle. Miracles are changes to the natural world where the laws of nature are broken in order to prove a divine intention. A bad miracle has no lesson in it because it doesn't point to anything greater than itself, making it an empty gesture or a spectacle, like the shoe floating in mid-air during Gordy's rampage. Although it saves the young Jupe in the way that a miracle might, he uses the experience to fuel the commodification of his trauma. I do want to speak to the subtext of how important the camera is to Black America, as a community long since exploited by racial inequities. The camera has allowed for a transference of power in instances of injustice, leveling an unjust playing field. From the Rodney King beating to, more recently, the George Floyd lynching, Black Americans are reclaiming power through the use of spectacle, penetrating the more insulated parts of the country. This commentary oozes the age-old American adage, no one will believe a black person unless it's on film.
There was a time when only minorities really knew about that. I'm not gonna say white people didn't believe us, but you were a little skeptical. You were a little skeptical. I mean, I don't blame you. And then Newsweek printed it, and he knew it was true. And then the Newsweek, white people were like, oh my God. Honey, did you see this? Apparently the police have been beating up Negroes like hotcakes. It's in the May issue.
And in keeping with the introductory quote to this story, if spectacle is to make dirty, then we're coming to grips with the filth on our hands.
You can't have black people in a flying saucer film and just have it be the same experience. It's just, it's not. There's a different relationship.
Spectacle, as taken from the Bible, is a curse. To engage in spectacle is to be consumed and to be filthy. As we desire and seek to be entertained, we're engaging in a process that's making dirty the subject of our entertainment. The act itself of spectacle means to treat one with contempt, and thus it's a hateful act that degrades the subject. By degrading, however, we're also abased. Without an audience, there is no spectacle. The only way to beat the monster is to lower your gaze. Eye contact, or lack thereof, is the answer to the dilemma posed by Gordy in Jean Jacket. The wayward gaze of Jupe as he relives the traumatic moments of his childhood show that he's broken. His gaze is unfocused and staring into emptiness. Compare this to the eye contact between brother and sister to symbolize a true connection. Being seen by those you care for is the antithesis of spectacle. The value you place in their attention isn't transactional, but mutual. It's a relationship based on appreciation of the other person's being.
Any time that we're going to make money off of the human need to see something crazy, that to me is what I call spectacleization. And I'm a guilty party. Yeah. You're a guilty party. We kind of all are. Yeah.
Peele is always good for scratching that need for symbolism and meaning in his films.
Oh my God, like, can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now?
In the case of Nope, Peele chose to point a finger at himself, and as a society that's decided to feed this beast with our attention, let's not be surprised if it comes loose of its shackles and consumes the consumer. So if it does, just remember to smile for the camera.